Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on the Tuesday the 7th of March. Here you can see we have our tables in front of us. We have two types of tables. We have our trend traders table and our day traders table. These are showing the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. You can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green. That means there is a confluence between those trading time frames, and that's where we'll be focusing most of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 5 minutes 24/7, meaning that our members can see how the market stands in real time. So what are the tables, not tables? What are they showing us this morning? Well, it's showing us that the euro is the second strongest currency on the trend traders, but the third strongest currency on the day traders. The Australian dollar is the weakest on both tables as well. And the only highlighted pair really is EURAUD. You could look at some other pairs as well. You could look at Aussie Swiss, which we're going to have a little look at in this video. You could also look at your likes of your Aussie yen as well, and things like euro, CAD, euro dollar, and all sorts. However, the highlighted currency pair is EURAUD. We did discuss this slightly yesterday, so I'm just going to go through how that performed, and then we'll jump onto Aussie Swiss, which tops our day traders table. So first of all, kicking it off with EURAUD, then you can see them on this daily time frame here. And we spoke about this market yesterday with ideas of targeting the one spot 59.50 for long opportunities. Now, it didn't quite go as planned in terms of as we expected on the lower time frame. We were talking about looking for longs on the hourly time frame, and in particular looking for those pullbacks into key areas of support and resistance. Now, the areas we kind of pointed out were down through here and down through here, and price didn't quite make it back before continuing to the upside. Instead, we kind of broke out of the previous highs, retested those previous highs, and then continued to rally to the upside. So not quite as we planned with Euro Aussie, but let's say you waited for price to break through these highs in here and you looked for a retest back at the previous structure highs, then you could have looked at this pin candle in here as an entry. That would have given you 125 pips to target, and if you kept a 50 pip stop loss, then you've got at least a 2-to-1 or just over a 2-to-1 trade in there. Now, we've come back into the previous structure highs. Like we said, the targets for us was the 159.50, and we're starting to find a little bit of resistance. So this is good, because if we want to be long in this market, we want to be looking for pullbacks into support and resistance. So I'm actually going to stick on this 8-hour chart here, and you can see that I've highlighted those highs again around about the 158 handle. And those previous highs acted as resistance before price traded through. So I'm wondering, is that going to act as support again? As well as, you can see here we have this trend line support running through. So we've got horizontal support as well as trend line support running through at that 158. So if price comes back into that level, could we potentially look for longs again, with targets this time being the next level of resistance, which is around about the 162 or 1 spot 62. So I've got that still in mind for Euro Aussie. So just because prices hit our immediate targets in here doesn't mean that we can't look for another opportunity on this market, because at the end of the day, it's still featured on the tables here to go long. All we need to do is mark up that support zone. If price comes back, we could look for further entries long as it still remains on the tables. So like I said, I'm going to cover some other pairs today, including Aussie Swiss. However, I do want to talk about Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie was our featured chart yesterday, and we were talking about long opportunities, and this one performed exactly as we expected it to. Price just hit targets at the 1 spot 8 handle, so this is a really good market to watch. However, the pound isn't appearing on the strength side of the day traders table anymore, so you might want to hold off of any longs here at the moment. But we talked about this pullback into these previous highs here around about the 1 spot 78.20 yesterday. We said look for longs in and around that area because price may move higher. Now, it formed a little pin candle off that level. That could have been your entry long. We talked about 50 pip stop losses. So if your stop loss would have been down at 50 pips, your first target was 100. pips, which is your 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Second target was 150 pips, so that's your 3-to-1 with your 1.8 targets. Now you could have just gone limit order here, which if you did, you could have had a tighter stop loss, higher reward to risk, and yeah, that would have performed really nicely. This large candle here, which hit our first targets, was all down to the RBA rate announcement last night, and they hiked rates as expected by 25 basis points. So that was the move here. 1.8 is being rejected at the moment. However, like I said, pound has fallen off the tables at the moment, so I'd be waiting for some kind of development here before looking for another opportunity. Aussie Swiss tops our day traders table, so I always like to look at the top one on the day traders because that can be sometimes where the momentum is in the market. So looking at Aussie Swiss, you can see that we've been in this long-term downward trend. Price recently traded out of that, and I'm pretty sure the last time we talked about Aussie Swiss, we talked about the 200 moving average being a resistance point. It's hit that, and prices continue to trade lower, making lower lows and lower highs. Again, where could price target? We've got the 0 spot 61.75 as the previous structure lows. That could be where price is heading to at the moment. That could be our targets for our day traders and our trend traders. So we're going to be looking for opportunities within this move to the downside. Now, your trend traders, you may want to wait for price to come back towards the 0 spot 63. As you can see, is acted as support and resistance in the past. So that area there may be something you want to wait for. If price pulls back into the zone, you could look for an opportunity short down to the 61.75. Again, as long as Aussie Swiss remains on the tables, you could limit order here. 65 pip stop loss, 126 pip targets. That's nearly your 2-to-1 there. So that could be a good reward to risk ratio trade for you. Other options or alternative options would be going down your time frame. So, you know, your 8-hour, your 4-hour, marking up areas where price has paused in the past. So you can see you've got this kind of slight pause there before price continued down. And that's around about the 0 spot 62.75 up towards the 0 spot 62.90. So that zone there could also act as resistance, but that's pretty much around the 0 spot 63 anyway. So it's probably best to wait for that larger level to be tested first. So that's all we've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.